So, hello everyone. Welcome to this masterclass presented by Ziggurat, Cintoo, and Norconsult. Through this session, we will provide insights into the future of digital construction and its potential to revolutionize the industry. First of all, Ziggurat is an online and global institute of technology dedicated to providing cutting-edge education and training in construction field. Today, we have the privilege of having these two speakers with us, Daniel Chamorro, who is the channel manager and business development in Cintoo. Hello, Daniel.
Hello.
He's bringing his expertise to the field of collaborative platforms and will shed light on the capabilities of the Cintoo Cloud. Additionally, we have Artemis Valanis. She is head of ScanToBIM applications at Norconsult, and she will be sharing insights into the application of 3D laser scanning in the context of BIM. So go ahead, Daniel, you can share your screen and introduce yourselves.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, you see my screen, right?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so thanks again, Mona Lisa and Ziggurat, for the invitation. And thank you everyone for joining us. And also to Artemis from Norconsult for your time to share your knowledge with us. So briefly about me, I'm in charge of our channels all over the world and the business development to scale our business with Cintoo and our technology. And I will give a very brief introductory presentation about Cintoo, the technology we have, and also how we are helping our customers work with point cloud data in the cloud and in other digital twin workflows. So the concept of digital twin is not anything new to all of you that have been working in this field. It simply is, to summarize it, I know that it has various definitions, but to summarize it, it's a realistic digital representation of assets, processes or systems in the built or natural environment. Now we know that when we're doing a digital twin, we're working with a 3D model, right? There are different softwares to do this, and Cintoo is targeted for both what we call the industry segment, Industry 4.0. Some people call it the manufacturing segment, right? And then the AEC segment that uses the BIM methodology. Okay. Now, the main challenge that we've had in this industry of construction is how can we get with this highest fidelity the reality that we live in, right? Whether it's different construction projects or different facilities into the digital world, right? Now, the technology that has helped us is what's known as the reality capture, right? Initially, this was mainly known as laser scanning. However, there are many other solutions in the market. Many players have come into the market. And today, however, we will be discussing reality capture, but also what Cintoo is doing in this segment. Okay. So talking about the reality capture landscape, I wanted to share with you some insights about the industry. Reality capture, if we look at it just on the 3D laser scanning, which is the technology that initially helped to solve the challenges of obtaining high fidelity digital twins, or the information for the digital twins, right? We can see that there are many players in the market, right? Many vendors. There are many ways of capturing data, whether it's with wearable systems, terrestrial systems, if you want millimeter accuracy, right? There's also laser scanners now also being used in drones, such as from MSN. And on the left side, you will see 360 cameras. There's photogrammetry solutions from Matterport. Apple also added a LiDAR sensor in their phone, right? And these other solutions are let's say the 2D imaging solutions are helping to add additional levels of reality when you're creating a digital twin now. So when we want to have a better understanding of what's going on in this segment, a very important indicator, I think, is to be able to understand what all of these vendors are doing in the market, right? So if you look at what Trimble is doing, Leica from Hexagon, Biometris, Navis, all the major players, also Regal, for example, you would see that almost every year they are releasing a more high performance scanner with a higher resolution, more accurate, and so on, right? And this, of course, is a win-win because it enables everyone to build higher accuracy digital twins. Another trend would be that, of course, as more players come into the market, customers that buy this equipment, they want to get the most of their data, right? The data that they produce with the scanners that they made. So they really want to be able to take this data into more places, do more with it. So the importance of having a very, let's say, collaborative workflows becomes really important. Now, the challenge of working with laser scanning is quite obvious for those that have been working with this technology. Again, the technology is not new, right? The technology of laser scanning has been around for almost 20 years, so it's not that it's a new technology. But the main challenge is the data that it produces, and the data that it produces is what's called a point cloud, right? But to give you an example, if you were to scan a factory, which is something very common for obtaining a quick factory layout or for planning, this results in a very high volumes of data, right? Whether you're scanning a large building as well, or for heritage, again, we have this big challenge of very large volumes of data. And this, again, it's also one of the reasons why the construction industry has it's taking a lot of time to adopt this technology. The real struggle that customers have with managing this data, often also by being faced by very convoluted workflows from the different vendors in the market, right? And this also is slowing down the industry from really being able to embrace this technology. Now, the core of Cintoo's technology is a unique ability or unique technology that we have to turn your point clouds, whether it's coming from a terrestrial system, from a SLAM-based system, we can turn them into 3D meshes and stream them in the web. And you don't need to decimate your data, okay? And this also has the advantage that you can convert the point cloud back, or let's say, sorry, convert the mesh back to a point cloud and be able to distribute it to other departments, other stakeholders, and so on. And another advantage of having the point cloud data being converted into a 3D mesh is that you remove a lot of the ambiguity that comes from interpreting a point cloud whenever you want to do any kind of measurement or analysis. A 3D mesh is a much more efficient way of working. Now, a quick overview about our platform. It's a very easy to use platform. I know a lot of people say that, but I think we can prove it by the amount of companies that use our platform. And we're very much focused at allowing you to use your data in any location. So once you upload the data, you can give access to as many stakeholders as you want and assign each of them various permissions. So we are really enabling real collaboration with as many users and projects and independent of your laser scan resolution. And also the capability that we have of being able to store our data or customers' data in any servers, whether they're from Microsoft or Amazon, from wherever they are located. It gives you extra flexibility also to be able to to respect the privacy the policies of each country, right? Again, the key here for using Cintoo for many of our users is this capability to finally give access to the point cloud data to everyone in their company. In the past, the point cloud data was just something that surveyors or engineers had access. In Cintoo, you can give access to all of pretty much all of your departments, as many as you want, and really work with very accurate data, enabling you to really gain efficiencies that you weren't able to have before. So our platform can be used for various use cases and workflows. I could spend maybe another 10 or 20 minutes talking about each one, but in summary, these are the, let's say, the primary ones. As a reality platform, you have what we call a BIM and CAD module where you can do quality control of your 3D models, and then finally an AI-based asset tagging. Again, really interesting, but the most interesting part of our webinar today would be what Norconsult will show. So I will try to summarize that and give you a quick overview here. This is the field to cloud or field to office workflows that we have. On the left, you see the various solutions from different vendors for capturing data with different laser scanners, and you can upload with various formats, industry formats like E57, RCP, FLS. You only have to install a simple app called Cintoo Connect, which would be uploading and meshing your data automatically. And once the data is in Cintoo Cloud, you can import various models. If you're having Autodesk Construction Cloud subscription, you can also manage various issues with BIM, Track, Procore, and so on. And on the right here, you see the various solutions for creating CAD models, which you can, of course, also upload into Cintoo. Another way of collaborating, which has been quite innovative in the industry, is that we give you the capability to export what we call 3D crops, and the 3D crops can be exported as point clouds or as a mesh. This is a relatively new feature. We have now a new capability to upload drone data. Why are we doing this, you may ask, if we're really focused on laser scanning? Drone data is often being used in construction projects to complement the projects of terrestrial laser scanning. And many of our large customers have been requesting this. So this enables many of our users to use Cintoo, combining various sensors. And here's a quick overview of how we are allowing you to export your 3D crops. Basically, you select an area, and then you can export whether there is E57, RCP, RCS, or in various mesh formats. Just a quick overview of the various ways you can visualize data. On the left, you see the 3D mesh. So the 3D mesh is always there, since all the data originating from point clouds is always a mesh. You have a BIM and CAD viewer. You have a viewer to analyze or do quality control of your point clouds with 3D models. You also can combine various data sets, 2D plans, site maps, 360 images, and so on into one single view. What we call the 2D panoramic is the traditional view you have when you import images from a laser scanner. So you can also navigate that in Cintoo. It's quite a convenient view as well. And finally, the asset tagging, which is a very powerful feature for customers that want to automate, whether it's automatically tagging different assets for either modeling, for inventorying, or scan to, let's say, ERP workflows. So finally, before I do the handover to Artemis, here's a quick snapshot of various workflows that you have really get the most of your data. The traditional point cloud data I explained previously, right, from the various vendors in the market that are producing terrestrial scanners or SLAM scanners. We can also import drone data, as I mentioned, and there are various ways to also import 360 images, which bring a different layer of information to your digital twin. Then on the right, you see the various BIM coordination tools, right? There is Autodesk Construction Cloud, many other suppliers in the market, right? And then there's very other platforms that we closely collaborate to make sure that you can get the most of your data. On the bottom, you see various other platforms or platforms as a service, like NVIDIA Omniverse, different software like Unity and Unreal, which we also have different workflows to get Cintoo in. And on the left, the largest, let's say, software suppliers that enable you to create different CAD models, right? So in summary, I would say that, well, I will not summarize this. We're very, very happy of the success Cintoo has had, but if you're curious to learn about Cintoo or about our platform, I invite you to reach out and check out our platform and get to know it yourself. I won't tell you why so many people love it. I will let you find out. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out. That's my information. So over to you, Artemis.
Thank you. Thank you both Ziggurat and Cintoo for inviting me here today. I am happy to join you and present for you how we work with Cintoo. I will just share my screen. Yes. Let's see here.
Yes.
Thank you. And I will be happy to talk to you today about our chosen theme, digital construction, exploring the future of BIM, 3D laser scanning, and Cintoo Cloud as collaborative platform. A little bit about me. I am a surveying engineer. I am from Athens. I finished my studies almost 20 years ago. So this means that I carry 20 years of experience. I work mostly with laser scanning, photogrammetry, BIM, and process development. And I work with reality capture and 3D scanning at Norconsult as a discipline leader. I am with Norconsult since 2015 in our headquarters near Oslo in Sandvika in Norway. And we are Cintoo Cloud users since 2019. Just a little information about our company. Norconsult is a company that is active in Scandinavia mostly, and we have a few more offices in different countries such as Poland and some offices outside of Europe. It is a relatively large company, engineering company, consulting company. Currently, we have about 5,900 employees. We work in all kinds of business areas. It is estimated that we process about 30,000 projects per year of all sizes and types. And this is a very large company where we essentially work with all fields. So, for example, transportation, buildings, renewable energy, architecture, digitization, and so on. And for a company, a large company such as Norconsult, it is necessary that all of our design focuses on the social aspect of design we deliver. We aim to contribute to a better day for everyone with everything that we do. And if we look a little closer in business areas, you can immediately understand that we are active in all main areas of engineering. We have in-house engineers and designers of all disciplines, and to this respect and in connection to our projects, it is very important for us to have also focus on sustainable solutions, best practice, good design, and we maintain a very high standard for everything that we do. Digitization is key for our company. We will not go into this slide in so much detail, but I need to say that for most of our projects, we employ methods involving building information modeling, digital design. We work both for new design, so we build new buildings, new facilities, schools, infrastructure, we design it. And in that respect, we work a lot with methods such as virtual design and construction, but we also work more and more in projects against the existing buildings, which means that we work a lot in rehabilitation and transformation, rebuilding of existing buildings and facilities. And when we do this, it is maybe the most necessary thing to acquire as much information as possible for these types of projects. Reality Capture and ScanToBIM are essentially processes that grant us access to materials like 3D scanning, models, more measurements, systems for viewing that allow us both to capture with a very high accuracy the environments that we work in, but it also allows us to help the design team make better decisions, have better overview, and to find the solutions that are best for each and every of our projects. In all of our projects where we are involved, it is very important that we produce and deliver precise and accurate documentation of existing situation. We deliver data and models that are later used for design, control, and visualization. And it is very important for us to have viewing systems that can easily be used from all partners in our projects. Daniel had a very nice introduction and overview of Cintoo Cloud. We find that all systems that allow us to engage absolutely all partners, even those who are maybe less skilled in design software or don't have this access, it is absolutely a benefit for all of our projects. Typical projects that we work with, market areas, we will say it's mostly building and construction, and Also, we have a lot of projects in industry, technical systems, energy, and pure digitization. Examples of project objects that we work with include shopping centers, office buildings, industrial buildings, schools, and so on. And we are able to say that we manage a large number of projects every year. Around each project, we have a number of partners, several designers, not necessarily from our company. And then sharing data and models becomes very important in order to ensure a good process. We will show some examples, and we will try to explain why we see Cintoo as a key for digitization, collaboration, and for the development of sustainable solutions. This is a project, one of the first projects where we used Cintoo. It is a school project. Here we have used terrestrial laser scanning to scan the entire building from inside and out. And this is an existing building where it is needed to renovate part of the existing building and also add a new wing to be able to provide more space for more activities for the students. Based on 3D scanning, we create models of existing facilities. And we also create models of the structure, combining both scans and drawings and other information that is available to us. All models that we produce, we have the possibility to upload them on Cintoo Cloud. And this is a very important feature for us, because in Cintoo Cloud, it is possible to view both data from 3D scanning and models. And this is something that is not possible for all viewers that are typically used on projects. For example, Solibri is very often used for coordination, but it does not allow us to include data from scanning, not without modeling it up. And the same goes for platforms like BIM 360. Again, it is possible to see models, but not data, actual data from the site. This presents a challenge because it is possible that when we work solely based on models, we don't have good control over what is already in the areas that we work. It can be installations, it can be parts of the building that are not included in the model, more details that will affect new design and implementation in later stages. So therefore, it is very important for us to have a solution where we can easily see both data and models, and Cintoo was the solution that could provide this functionality. Using Cintoo, it is possible to upload all data we have from 3D scanning we perform for our projects. We prefer terrestrial laser scanning systems. But with Cintoo, we are able to add to our projects more data sets if they are available from other systems. When it comes to virtual site visits, this is a very nice functionality that many of our users like about Cintoo, and we see that we have on all of our projects several users who daily take advantage of this possibility. By uploading all of our scans together with panorama images on the Cintoo viewer, we are able to easily navigate through areas that we have scanned. We are able to take some measurements and cross-check dimensions. We are able to check coordinates or heights on specific locations. And like this, we are able to both go through a model, understand the building site better, understand the space better, and by having the possibility for virtual surveys, it is also a very good way to ensure some savings for projects. For example, think that you have a really big project like project of a school. We have scanned it at the very beginning of the project. We have acquired almost 500 scans, and this is available to all partners and designers in the project. By logging into Cintoo, they are able to go through the building. They are able to inspect all spaces. They are able to create annotations and map areas of interest. And by this, we avoid a lot of costs related to time and expenses connected to physical site visits, but we also manage to register a lot of this information and a lot of interesting areas. We are able to register everything on Cintoo and have everything registered on the model. By including both data and models, we are also able to control models and data. We are able to control the geometry of a structure. For example, if we scan a building, as we have done here, it is possible to control the planarity across a floor. We will see more examples between models and data, control between models and data later. Little back to what I was discussing before, the possibility to register interesting areas or interesting objects into a viewer like Cintoo, register everything that we observe onto the model, helps us in cases where we need to assess a building, for example, with regards to potential for reuse of materials, reuse of objects, inspection of condition, and so on. There are several projects that start without a very exact plan. For example, a school in one area. We see that it is not able to serve, to provide the capacity that is needed, for example. Then it is not very clear from the beginning if an existing building like this should be rebuilt or redesigned in order to better suit the new needs, or if a building should be extended by adding more wings and more space adjoined to the existing structures. In any case, there are many decisions and projects when we go into existing buildings, and in recent times, it has become more and more important to also have some focus on sustainable processes and standards for better reuse of materials, for minimization of materials that are discarded, and so on. During a design process, also in the case where we work in existing models, existing buildings, we are always producing several disciplinary models that we need to be able to view in a single model viewer. And we also want to view these models against the existing situation, against the spaces that are maybe in use, spaces where we maybe have some existing installations and so on. So the possibility to view our models against all other models that we develop parallel, but also against existing spaces as captured by 3D scanning is very valuable for our projects. By using functionalities such as mapping and annotations, we are able to register several objects that are interesting for different disciplines. So for example, here we have used Cintoo to register trees around this school area. And these are trees that should be preserved. Also, by using marking functionality or by using functionality for issues, we are able to register these areas, these spots around our model, and we are able to provide some information to those who need to follow up something related to design, for example, a conflict or so. Or we are able to create lists that we use we use later in order to register some more information and create like some plan or some tasks. The functionality of marking in Cintoo and for reporting in PDF and BCF is, to our view, a very good solution for those who need to both register interesting areas in the model, but also take this information and communicate it to different partners in the project, or to see that an error in design is handled, for example, through use of BCF. Another feature that we appreciate with Cintoo is the possibility to create different types of users and control access. And this is very important because in a process where we might be handling some sensitive data for some of our customers, it is usually a good process to be sure that the key partners have the right access, the access that is needed, but maybe users like service providers or different different external partners also have the possibility to have access for limited time to be able to inspect an area, maybe measure dimensions and provide a better estimation for costs, for example, for some new installation and so on. The connection to BIM 360, we think it is a very important feature because, as explained earlier, BIM 360 still does not give a possibility for viewing 3D point cloud data into the model viewer. So in this regard, Cintoo is providing this functionality and the direct access with the BIM 360 with the possibility for import of models directly into the project area. It's a very nice feature that we find this helping a lot for more projects. 3D scanning is used on all kinds of projects, both for existing buildings or for infrastructure. We have many examples where we have used Cintoo for all kinds of projects. We are not able to show so many of these projects because of agreement with the customer, or because it is concerns for private data and private information. But we are able to say that we have started in 2019 with a relatively small subscription, and already from the first projects where we tested Cintoo, we had a very good feedback from all users, but especially from the users who had challenges to make use of the data before. Some features that are very interesting for Cintoo, or some applications, we should better say, is follow-up of construction based on 3D scanning and modeling. In this case, our client had a model of factory, of a warehouse that should be built. This was a project that had started and stopped several times. In the end, nobody was sure what had been built, which models had been used. And this was a case where we were invited to come perform a scan, check the scan against the model to find what is the difference between the two, adjust the model according to the scan, and help to go forward with building new installations in this area. Also, we have several cases where we go into projects, maybe we go into projects at a little later stage, and then we find that the model is already built based on drawings. In this case, drawings that were provided by the client had a very huge error on height. And what we see here is in the area where a new building should meet the existing building, we see the slabs from the new building coming into the existing area, 1.5 meters lower than they should be. So This is an example of why we always need to make sure that we have data that give to us a very good control of the areas that we work with, and that models that are used for building are based on 3D scanning, and also that this is a process that is controlled over the entire processing life cycle. Also, this is an example of quality control and documentation of deviation. This is an example of some platforms that had recently been rebuilt. The work was finalized and delivered by the contractor, but the owner had observed problems on the final surface, and by scanning and comparing scans against the model, we were able to document that there was in fact a deviation of the final structure from the design model, and that there were some areas where it really was required for some intervention and some reparations to assure that these platforms were flat and according to standard as required. If we would discuss the top features of Cintoo Cloud, the fact that it is 100% cloud-based is a really good feature, because this means that everybody is able to access the web pages. Everybody is able to access the model and see both scans and the models, and have better control over the different discipline models that are developed. Also, Cintoo Cloud, which allows us both to upload data and models. It allows for model-based collaboration, and this ensures a much better process, since everything is registered on a model, such as issues, annotations, and assets. And this allows for a better collaboration between members of different disciplines. Integrations we have tested between BIM 360 and BIM Track. They are very helpful. We are very interested to see these two integrations as they develop further. The possibility for geometric control, both for existing buildings, is very interesting because it gives us a way to quality control models that are based on 3D scanning, but also during construction. It is very helpful tool to allow for verification of structures as they are being built. And here we need to see if the structure is following the model, or if we have deviations and how large these are. We are very happy to see a flexible model structure on Cintoo. We are easily able to make directories of data and models, and we are also able to manage access between users according to this. And the ease in updating data and models is also very interesting for us, because it means that if we are working on a project, if we have scanned an entire building and if some area is changed, then we are able to go back to this area, scan, and we are able to easily take away the old data that correspond to this area and bring the new. And like this, it's possible to constantly have a model that is up to date. Some feedback from our customers. On the first project that we tested Cintoo on, we were very happy to hear our client explaining that this was the first time they felt that they get a value out of 3D scanning that they usually order for their projects. Colleagues who work with Cintoo, one example of a colleague who had the first time logged into Cintoo and took a digital site visit. She immediately reported that when the next day she was on site, she was able to fully orient herself, and she knew the layout of the entire facility. One of our industrial clients explains that they were skeptical in the beginning, especially for 3D laser scanning and for using a viewer. But after some work together, they really see the value of 3D scanning. And this means that they get better use of their data, but we also are able to sell more services to our clients like this. And another example is from architects who work on a project. We provide the data and where we use Cintoo as a viewing platform. And they report that they had also like very good savings, both in terms of time and money from using Cintoo for their projects. To summarize, Cintoo Cloud for us is an invaluable tool for all kinds of projects. We are very happy to be able to make data and models easily accessible to all project partners. Cintoo is our go-to viewers for all modelers who need to cross-check models they deliver in all discipline areas. It is a very good and quick way to quality control models or verify structure. VR functionality out of the box. We have not used this functionality enough, but I think with more people becoming familiar with VR and so on, this functionality will be more and more in use. It has a great potential for digital twin as a digital twin platform, especially when we will be able to test it forward with registering assets for different kinds of projects. And so far, Cintoo Cloud is the best supplement for BIM 360. For us, Cintoo is the single source of truth on our projects. Everybody's able to log in and see everything that they need for their work. And it is a solution that has a cost, but we see that the savings that we make from avoiding frequent site visits and by easily handling small issues it's a very good investment for single projects and for clients who choose this. Thank you so much for your time. This was a mouthful.
Artemis. No, it's such great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Artemis.
Daniel, could you see the questions here in the chat? Yeah, okay. So we have just 5 minutes. So you can maybe if you could answer.
Yeah. Okay, there's a couple of questions here. Cintoo can handle LOD 400, has the ability to auto-create mesh element from point cloud data. Yeah, so Cintoo's technology, which is a technology that it's unique to Cintoo, meaning that we take your point cloud data regardless of the laser scanner you're using, whether it's Arrow, Leica, and so on, and the mesh is created automatically. So when we're talking about LOD, that is something that would be the project requirements, how much detail you're going to bring into your BIM model, right? That it's really up to how you do your work, but you will get the same, let's say, resolution and accuracy as your source scanner. That's a unique technology that we have. And whether we can stream to HoloLens, well, at the moment we are very much focused at VR. AR maybe will come in the future. HoloLens 2 is aimed at augmented reality, but many of our large customers have been using our platforms such as Norconsult with our VR application, which has been always built in since the beginning. And then there's a question about Cintoo has the ability to for drone. I believe there's an app to control the drone. Does the app have ability to record the path of the drone? Okay, so just to clarify what we're doing with drones, since it's I would say a market that has various technologies, and then people that are using drones are using different sensors, right? When we're talking about drones and what we're doing with drones, what we do is that we take the data that is captured by imaging sensors, right? And then there are various software solutions in the market, such as Drone Deploy, Pix4D, and so on. These softwares, what they do is they create a point cloud out of the photogrammetry process, and then this data can be added into Cintoo, okay? And this way you can complement the terrestrial scanning that you do, and the top of, let's say, of a structure of a building, you can add the drone data there. Okay, and the last question, if after a project finish, we have to pay the subscription yearly for storage, the data. No, so I think another point of Cintoo, you don't have to pay for the storage. The business model is very, very simple. We're not charging you every time you upload or download something. The subscription model is really, really straightforward. It's based on scan positions. So if you've used a terrestrial scanner, you know that it has different scan positions according to your project, right? And we start at, our subscription price starts at 500 scan positions that you can have active inside Cintoo Cloud. And you can have a subscription model, whether it's monthly or yearly. And that includes as many users, as many projects, and we put no limitation on the resolution of each scanner. So you could be working with a BLK 360, RTC 360, it really doesn't matter. So it's a very flexible platform that you can really use to leverage the data that you use with your projects.
Okay, that's all.
Yeah.
I think so. Well, once again, thank you Artemis, thank you Daniel for being here today. Such great presentation. Thank you guys for your active participation. We'll look forward to see you again in the future events and courses. So, and by scanning this QR code, we will have access to additional resources, courses updates, and valuable information. Okay, so we encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity and expand your knowledge. So for today, that's all. Thank you again, and see you.